Ladies and gentlemen, the tier list for Leagues 4 that's coming out on Wednesday. It's like 2 days from now, basically. Yeah, 2 days from now. And we did this earlier, a couple weeks ago. We did a tier list just based on what we think the regions will offer us. But now that we've got a bit more insight onto what the league is about, and I'll even pull up some work that Jagex has posted to give us some more insight on the regions. Here we go. Oh wow, this is every single one broken down. Let's just take the big image. This is much easier to look at. So we also have this bad boy here. Okay, where we can look at each region and what they offer. This was done by Gentle Tractor, who I personally haven't enjoyed some of his work in the past. I thought his selling work was poorly put together, but, you know, he's working with Jagex and they're doing a good job. So I fucking respect that. Nice work. Good job to everyone. This looks very good, very clean. Loving the direction of it. Obviously, Valamore is out of action here. So we can have a quick rundown of what each region offers and then go from there. Starting with, I guess, up the top, Misthalin. Which Misthalin for us offers today. Here. We get Poraporo, Fairy Rings, Herbivore, Volcanic Mine. Which sounds fun in leagues. Birdhouses, Islas, Souls, and Soul Wars. Which is where you can go to get your imbues now instead of having to have... Kandaren unlocked to be able to get imbues, which is actually massive compared to the last league. Something decent to keep in mind. Deranged Archaeologist, Briarfighter, Obor, and the Abyssal Sire, including Abyssal Demons in the Abyss, which means you have access to Abyssal Whips no matter what, which is always awesome. It's a decent sized region, and you also get Fossil Islands and the irrelevant islands all around. Misthalin, it's a free region, it's a good region, everyone's going to have it, everyone's going to love it. It's a pretty big base point. I think it's a C tier area to live in. I don't think there's anything good or bad about it. It's pretty fucking solid. Then we have Karamja, which is the next free region, which just gives you Karamja. I don't think it gives you anything else in the surrounding areas by the looks of it. Karamja offers the Brimhaven Dungeon, which is shit. You have the Charter Ships, which is handy depending on which regions you unlock. You have the Fight Caves and the Inferno, which people can take advantage of the Inferno, especially to learn the processes of the Inferno and try to get a bit of a head start for the main game, which is what I think people did in Leagues 3 as well, which is quite handy. Karambrian Fishing, which is decent, but you're probably not going to need that in the league. Obsidian Armor, which gives you a shield with a +5 strength bonus. Onyx Gems, which is awesome. Obviously, you just buy your Chaos Runes, and now we know because of Fire Sale and the way that shops work, you can just buy the runes or grab the runes for free and immediately sell them and get yourself an Onyx. Over at the Tazar area. So you have, with certain relic setups, you can get immediate free access to Onyx Jewelry, which is nice. And then the Jad Challenge, which I believe the Harder Jad Challenge has new mechanics as well that they've leaked. Well, they've leaked that there will be different mechanics, but they haven't leaked exactly what, which is pretty cool. So Karamja provides a lot of good content, and depending on the relics you choose, could be a lot bigger there for some than others, but I think as a baseline everyone gets it. I think it's only fair to put it in the C tier because it is a free region, which means it doesn't matter if you want Karamja or not, you're stuck with it. You can also buy a bunch of Karambrines right off the bat. I think you probably could do that as well. That wouldn't surprise me. Next, on the top of the list, we have the Wilderness. I did Wilderness in the second Trailblazer League. It was good fun. What does the Wilderness offer today? The Wilderness, people will argue, is the weakest region of the lot, which I think is fair because as far as quest unlocks go, you get Enter the Abyss and that's it. You don't really get anything else with that part of the game. So there's nothing else for the Wilderness to offer you in terms of content. A few diary things are automatically unlocked, but you do get access to the Major Arena 2 capes, which is Major Arena 1 and 2. You get Revenant caves, which I believe... I don't see why Jagex wouldn't give us the relic that says that lets you pick your own Slayer task. We've had that for the past 3 leagues now. So I don't see why that wouldn't be in the 4th league. So expect a relic at some point to let you choose your own Slayer task, which will then obviously mean that if you choose the Wilderness, you're probably just going to go back to back revs, and you're going to have like a 1 in 200 chance at a rev weapon. Farm those really quick, and then farm the rev bosses super quick. Get your upgraded weapons, get your upgraded Voidwaker. You could really push that out very quickly in like 1 day in the Wilderness, ideally. Like, you'd think so at least. Black Chinchompers, which is better than any other Chinchompers in the game. Abyss Ring Crafting, which only matters if you can access the altar, which, for example, you can't access the Blood Altar unless you have done Mauritania, but you also have to do Desert to unlock it in Mauritania as well. So you know, if you want certain runes, you can't do the Death Altar unless you've unlocked Tyr and Wind, for example. So, Abyss ring crafting is kind of it's kind of subjective. I guess it depends on your other regions. It piggybacks off of them. Yeah, otherwise the Abyss is pretty useless, unless obviously he's rebel trading. Wilderness Resource Arena, immediate access to magic trees, dark crabs, rune ore, smithing and smelting, utilities. Pretty decent spot to just sit there and power level shit at the end of the day, right? Like you can just go in there and you have an unlimited source of an arena of I have cancer. So you can pretty much just max your stats in there, which is pretty nice. Venenatus, Spindle, Cavarion, Vedion, Callisto, Artio, all great bosses that you have access to. It won't be hugely contested, I don't imagine. A lot of people probably won't pick the Wilderness because you also have to worry about being PK'd, which is treated as a PVM death. But it's also worth mentioning that it's still fucking annoying to be PK'd, and I will PK you if I see you. So, good for pet hunting. Why are you pet hunting in fucking leagues, dude? Pets do carry over from league to league, by the way, so actually that's a good point. Scorpio, which hasn't had the update yet, so it's shit. Chaos Fanatic is garbage. Crazy Archaeologist is garbage. Revenant, oh yeah, Revenant Maledictus actually is pretty good. Chaos Elemental, garbage. KBD, actually pretty badass. You have access to Dragon Pickaxes here, which is awesome. And Corporeal Beast, which I think... Corporeal Beast is going to be a bit tricky. It's going to be hard to farm Corporeal Beast when you think about it. But it depends on what combat relics are given to you, because, like, I think in leagues, previous leagues, you were able to actually use other Ironman to help you, but it's purely a solo instance now for Corp. So that means you kind of want to have an Arclight or a BGS at least to help you with that, and it's going to be a bit fucking rough. Unless there's obviously some relics that absolutely bust it. There'll be some sort of method around it, but Corp's going to be really fucking rough to farm, I think. But I'm personally choosing Wilderness. I think Wilderness offers a lot of content, but it doesn't offer a huge amount of piggybacking content. Like, it doesn't complement any other region very well, but other regions probably benefit from it a bit more. Obviously, the Mage Cape boost would be pretty nice if you were going full Mage route, but it's really, I'm a little biased, and I did really enjoy the Wilderness last time. I think the Wilderness has a lot to offer, and I think there'll be a lot less competition looking for resources and monster spawns. And I think, again, if you're choosing your own Slayer tasks, like, Revs are one of the best Slayer tasks in the game, and just give you a lot of good resources. I think B tier for Wilderness. I think it is actually, it has a lot, it lacks what other regions have. Sorry, that's my bad. I'm debating Desert and Wilderness in the mix. The Fang has full damage on Corp. That's actually not a bad shout, to be honest. Absolutely. I think the Wilderness has a lot to offer that other regions don't have to offer. I think a lot of other regions here require other regions to make them work. The Wilderness just works by itself as a standalone region to unlock. For example, we go to Fremenic. Fremenic, where's Fremenic on here? Feel free to correct me, by the way, if you guys think I'm wrong or you want to share an opinion on what I'm saying. Absolutely go for it. I would appreciate the feedback. And I'll do, in typical King Condor fashion, tell you you're wrong and tell you to shut up, and then you can complain about it on Reddit. But Relica Slayer Cave, which is kind of shit, to be honest. The Astral Altar for Feminic, which is not too bad. Lunar Spellbook, which is big. Blast Furnace, it's the best smithing XP in the game. So if you really want to push out Blast Furnace, you can absolutely smash that, which is kind of defeated if you have Production Prodigy, because it's probably faster to just not do the Blast Furnace at that point, but then again, use less coal at the Blast Furnace, so it's up to you. Adamant and Brune Dragons will come through Miss Fallon if you unlock Fremenic. Basilisk Knights and Knitter's Knot Face Guard for those who want the strength bonus on their Knitter's Knot helmets. Keldgrim Stones, Mason, and Player in House upgrade. So basically, if you are going to have a Player in House and you don't choose Fremenic, you're not going to get anything. You can't get Magic Stones, you can't get the Marble Blocks, you can't get Gold Leaves. You are locked out of Player in House content if you choose Fremenic, which I think is very important to remember. If you want Ornate Pool, you are fucked here, essentially, if you don't choose Fremenic. I don't think it matters a whole lot, especially, like, for example, the Wilderness has the Frox Enclave, and the Desert has the Altar that will heal you back anyway. So, you've... Okay. Anyway, sorry. That was an interesting song. Yes. The video won't be able to have heard that, but that was very interesting. Okay. Anyways. Run that track back. After this, we'll listen to it, alright? Anyways, yeah, so you won't have player and house access to the big upgrades, essentially, if you don't choose Fremennik. Dagannoth Kings, though, especially if you want to chase ring upgrades. Vorkaf, which is just going to shit out fucking resources, shit out money. Lots of Dragonhide as well. Remember, tanning. I don't even know where you can tan. I know you can tan in the desert. You can tan in Mauritania. And there's one other place you can tan. Maybe it's the elf place. I don't know where else. So getting Dragonhide is going to be useless unless you have something to back it up. Phantom Muspar, which you will have access to. But you need the Duke. If you want to do the Duke, you have to choose the desert. Which is an example of where, if you want Fremennik to fully be unlocked, you probably want to choose the desert. Overall, I think Fremennik, personally, I would not be choosing it. I think I don't like this list a lot. The Lunar Spellbook doesn't interest me a whole lot for the league because I'll be doing a lot of damage elsewhere. Luna's Lieutenant. Oh, you can do Luna's, actually, good call. Yeah, no, my mistake. There you go. You get Lunar Spellbook with it. I don't have any interest in hunting the dragons. Basilisk, that the need is not face guard means nothing to me. Player and house upgrade just sounds expensive and tedious. I don't really plan on putting that much effort into that side of leagues at least. Dagannoth Kings are shit. Vorkaf, I've already got to grind that on my Ironman. I don't want to fucking sit there doing it on leagues as well. So I think Fremennik, for me, to me personally, is not as exciting and doesn't provide as much fun. I think I personally am going to put this in like a D tier. I don't really feel like it provides anything like substantial endgame without the help of another region. So Fremennik for me is pretty rough. Tana Inzaya, oh there is one, there you go. What do we got here? We got Asgarnia. Asgarnia is huge. Asgarnia was big last Trailblazer, and it's even bigger this Trailblazer because we have Nex. Asgarnia is up here. We have Pest Control and Void Knight Armor, which is gay. Mining Guild and Motherlode Mine, which you're probably not really going to use. Rogue's Den and Rogue's Outfit, which you're also probably not really going to use. Warriors Guild and Defenders, which gives you obviously the Defenders, and they'll come really quick, which is awesome. So that's a big selling point, the Defenders. Especially for those who are not chasing content like the Scythe, because then you won't need the two-handed, you'll have a two-handed weapon if you did. Tavley Dungeon, which offers almost fuck all in value except like Cerberus. Mahogany Homes, which I don't really see the need to. Like, if you're not going to unlock Fremennik, there's not a whole lot to do with construction. There's not a big need to level construction. So Mahogany Homes kind of is a bit of a weak piece of content for people, unless obviously there's just tasks around doing Mahogany Home stuff and getting levels. But to get value out of construction, you're going to want Fremennik unlocked too. So that's just something to keep in mind. Giant Mole, which is shit. Cerberus, which is shit. And then you got the God Wars Generals, which all provide a great level of content, and you can just go straight in. I think you originally needed Desert to unlock next, but they're making it so you don't need to do that in this league, I believe. So that helps. But if you want to do the Whisperer, which will be with it, you do have to unlock the Desert with it. So I think Asgarnia complements Fremennik a lot. So if you're going to go Fremennik, you'd want to pick Asgarnia. But otherwise, Asgarnia provides a lot of content. A lot of great content that you probably don't want to, miss. I will be missing it personally. I chose it last time though, and it was great fun. But it's a great opportunity for you to also just try to understand the mechanics of Nex if you really want to have a go. So Asgarnia is something to definitely keep in mind. It's a very strong region. Has all the God Wars, has all the God Swords. I think Asgarnia is pretty A tier, to be honest. It's a very fucking strong region. Very strong. And you got Mauritania on the next one. I think Mauritania, I will be picking Mauritania because I didn't last time, and I really wish I did. So this time I'm definitely picking Mauritania, but I think I'm going to choose Mauritania last. I think that'll be happening last. Cave Horrors and Black Mask, which means Slayer Helmet, which is big. Especially considering you can, one, you should be able to at least pick your own Slayer task, and two, you don't need Kandaren to imbue your Slayer Helmet anymore because Soul Wars is available, provided there are Soul Wars games going, of course. If there's Soul Wars games going, then you can just, where the fuck is it? You can just send Soul Wars and imbue your Slayer Helmets and Black Mask. Nightmare was still a cunt to get drops from, but it should be good with the harder mode this time. Yeah, 15 times mode would make it a lot easier for sure. Move this out of the way. Wait, no, we need this here. Sorry. So yeah, the Slayer Tower, which gives you like Gargoyles, which is big money. You get Grotesque Guardians, which I guess is just for points at the end of the day. Abyssal Demons for whips if you don't want to go to the Abyss. And everything else in the tower is kind of shit. Hallowed Sepulchre, which personally would be used just to max. Like, the Ring of Endurance is pointless because you have unlimited run. Ectophuntus Prayer Training, but actually, that would be really quick. Ectophuntus Prayer Training wouldn't be too bad if it's your only method or if it's your best method. Again, because I'm going Wilderness, I'll have the altar, but otherwise, and because there's no PVM death, like, all deaths are PVM related, you don't lose your bones if you get PK'd at the altar. But Ectophuntus Prayer Training would be really fucking insane. Pickpocketing for Blood Shards for Firewatch, which is mad, especially with certain relics at the start. Was like Trickster, I think. You can pick a shit ton and never fail, which is awesome. Barrows Brothers for Barrows gear, which is pretty much the extent of like range gear for some people, depending on the regions you pick. Grotesque Guardians, Nightmare, and Theatre of Blood, which both will have harder modes than they already have in the game, which is a 15 times increased chance of the drop, which basically means every single harder mode Theatre of Blood will give a purple. And Nightmare of Ashihama, I think it's only for Sani Nightmare that the harder mode is on. Don't know about the Groot Nightmare, but 15 times drop rate, you're going to be seeing fucking drops all the time from Nightmare as well, which is awesome. So, great content. That's what I want to do. Early game's pretty fucked, but late game and just opportunity for content from Mauritania definitely makes it A tier. I think it's a pretty strong fucking region to go with, and that brings us to the desert. Arguably the most popular region this time round, because it was shit last time, but obviously there's a lot of content that's come to the game, which we all are aware of. You have the Agility Pyramid, which people will probably do for money. You have Thugs and Bandit Blackjacking, which people will probably do for money. Giant's Foundry, which is a great alternative to training smithing and making money, especially if you don't unlock Feminine, you won't have the Blast Furnace. And then that might be a good reason to not pick something like Production Prodigy, because Giant's Foundry is... No, wait, because you still want the bars, don't you? Actually, no, that'll go well with Production Prodigy. Ignore me. Mage Training Arena for those who want Cancer. Sorcerer's Garden for no reason whatsoever. Pyramid Plunder for really fast thieving XP. And Pharos Scepters. And Ancient Spellbook, which means Ancient Magics, which means you're a bit of a threat everywhere no matter what you do, right? Mauritania is top, yes. And then also you get Tempros, which is insane. 35 fishing, you got unlimited fish. Cowfight Queen for Dragon Pickaxes. And helping you get the diary done, so you get that the shrine in Nada. The Leviathan comes with the desert instantly. YPP if you can squirk, because you probably won't be squirking in leagues. There won't be that many people doing it, so you won't be able to take advantage of it. Leviathan comes automatically unlocked with the desert bosses, which means you can build the Soul Reaper axe straight off of it, and Turns of a Mascot for those who want to really push that raid, get a Fang and a Shadow, which will be absolutely busted. I won't be doing it personally, but you'll have access to Virtus because of this, access to Missouri, access to Light Bearers. You unlock a lot with the desert. It's probably one of the strongest regions. I think there's no denying that this is a S tier region for sure. Absolutely, like... one of the, like, if it really, you're missing out on a lot of content if you don't pick this region. I won't be picking it personally because it's not content I necessarily want to sit through. I don't personally enjoy it, so, but I think it is an incredibly strong region nonetheless. Kandarin is a massive fucking region, a big red boy there, including Apatol. Last league was this was the hotspot. You get the Ardone Market Thieving, you get the ZMI Altar, which gives you all runes no matter what. You get Barbarian Assault and the Torso, which is completely fucking useless. You get Demonic Gorillas and Zenites, which would be nice. So this basically gives you all Zenite jewelry this region. I believe Monkey Madness 2 comes unlocked with it. You get the Kraken, which means you get Trident, and you get Tent Whip. And you get Thermi, which means you get the Occult Amulet, which is also massive. Stronghold Slayer Cave, which gives you a bunch of Slayer monsters, but only if you're on task. But if you can choose your own Slayer task, then you can have whatever Slayer monster you want. And Feldup Hills Hunter Area for Red Chin Chompers. Very big region. Lots to offer. You also get Nightmare Zone, so you can go and imbue your stuff instead of doing Soul Wars. You get access to Piety. Last time, Piety needed Kandarin and Asgarnia, but I believe it doesn't need that this time. It's just straight up with Kandarin. Dragonfall Helmet for extra swag. Kandarin offers a lot of content. No, like, endgame punching content, but it offers... Like, it's just a great foundation. Like, it's great structure for your account. I think it's probably an S tier region. It just has so much. No, maybe it's A tier just because it dies off pretty late game, to be honest. But it offers. Maybe it is S tier. Nah, I think if I have to question it, it can't be S tier. So it has to be A tier, I think. Under 50 likes, come on guys, probably, but it's tier list and chat's cringe. I think Kandarin will be the most popular region, lots of competition. It was last time, it probably will be again. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Elf place, last time, look, picking Elf first is a bad idea, but I know people did that last time. I think Jay did that last time. Elf, I think, sucks. You have Gauntlet, you have Zora, you have Disappointment. That's about it. If I wanted to do the Elf place, if I wanted to do the Gauntlet and Zora, I'll be doing it on my Ironman, not in fucking leagues. I'm not wasting my time doing that shit again. So, that's just me personally. I don't think... I think the Elf, choosing tier 1 really depends on the rest of your league plan. Bofa is an easy few hour grind. Yes. So, what you have to remember though is if you're going to go Elf place, and you're also going to go, say, Korend, and push for a T-bow, then why the fuck are you even going to consider going for a Bofa? Are you going to take both of you? Are you going to pick the range relic if you go here? What if you're going desert and also go for the shadow? You're probably not going to go for the range relic then, are you? Or what if you have Asgarnia? Are you going to use the Bofa, or are you going to use... If you get the range relic, you're probably going to want to use the Zarak crossbow as well, aren't you? 4-tick dark bow, that's not enough to think about going for fucking the Elf place, dude. Rune Crosser can be better than Bofa with range relics. Well, no, because the Bofa had the range relic too, right? But then again, the Ruby Bolts, it depends. I just don't think it's enough. I think the idea of having a 1-tick blowpipe is great, but I don't think it's fucking worth, like, what every other region has to offer for you. I think this is probably the weakest region, to be honest. I think you can get a lot more value out of every other fucking region, that the nice things in this region don't make up for the shit things in this region. I think both not needed for leagues. No, you won't need it. I don't think. Last time I did Kandarin tier 1 Mori with melee, and it still made it work. 2-tick blade was best in slot at top at the time, and my mage range was pretty good. Yeah, I can imagine it still was. That was before the Bofa though, right? And that was with the pre-nerf blowpipe. I just think you can get a lot more, like with the new content in the game. And in my mind, like, I haven't obviously got to Korend yet, but Korend is going to be everyone's, well, not everyone, but Korend's going to be the most popular and strongest region, right? With Bofa, with pre-nerf blowpipe. Oh, really? Oh, they were both. Oh, right. Okay. Pre-nerf blowpipe. Okay. I just think if you're going to have access to possibly getting a T-bow or a Zarak crossbow, I don't think you should be putting your eggs in the basket of the Gauntlet. And the fact that this time you're going to get a 2-tick scythe is also pretty fucking big. Nick, thank you for the upgrade, man. I appreciate that. I think the Elf place... I could be wrong, but I don't think the Elf place is as good as the other places this time round. You have the Death Altar, okay, that's really cool. But you have the Priff Agility course, which it depends. It could be irrelevant if you're going to use that relic that lets you gain XP while running. Red Chin Chompers, which is irrelevant if you pick Kandarin. So again, it depends what you're going to pick. You have the AWST Dungeon, which actually isn't too bad. Elf Pickpocketing, which helps you support the region more. Crystal Implings helping you support this region. Volcano Gauntlet and Zora. I feel like Tyrian Win helps itself and doesn't help really many other regions personally. Where can I find this map? It's on the RuneScape Twitter page. Someone who picked Priff the last 2 leagues, save yourself some heartache and do not pick Priff as your home. As your home. I think Priff is great for those that don't have a lot of time to spend. You can get a lot out of this, don't get me wrong. I just don't think it really complements or is complemented by other regions. Melee Relic with Asgard, Korend, and Mori for Tog, Goblins, and Cox. Thoughts? That sounds like it'll work. Should be good. I think like this Elf place needs your other regions, and I think, let me word this better. I think the Elf place can work, but if you pick the wrong regions and the wrong relics, it can fucking suck as well. More than any of the other ones. I think this is probably worse than Fremnik, really, if I'm honest with you. Okay, so this was made before we realized that Korend was one big region, so we just had the great Korend as one region for the last one. I had Priff last league, it's a waste PBM-wise, but skilling it's nice. Yeah, I think it offers a lot, but I think you can find a lot of it in other regions. Like, if you want the Crystal Tool Sequence Volcano to work, you're going to need to get a pickaxe, which means you need to pick at least Wilderness, Desert, or that might be it, right? If you want the Crystal Axe, you need to pick Fremenic or Korend. And if you want the Harpoon, you need Korend or Desert, I believe. So it's like, you're probably going to pick one of those anyway, but if you don't, the Crystal Tool Sequence Volcano becomes useless. Leagues for the best moment to train Chaos Ultra Pro? No. Oh, maybe actually. Can you get D-Pick and Proof now? No, you can get a D-Pick and Miss Dallin now from Volcanic Mine, but then you need to repair it, which I think requires Asgarnia. So, because you got to go to the Dwarven Mines. Is it Asgarnia? Yeah, the Dwarven Mines. So, there's that option too. Otherwise, you can't do it. But we have Korend. Where's Korend? Here. So Korend is a big region, and I think just straight off the bat it would be lying if we weren't saying Korend is probably one of the best, if not the best regions, with the Catacombs of Korend, which gives you the Catacombs of Korend. Arceus Spellbook, which is, who gives a shit. Soul and Blood Altars, that does not require the desert to unlock blood, which is awesome. You get Lizardman Shamans, which means Dragon Warhammers. You get Woodcutting Guild, which means access to trees everywhere, anywhere, doing whatever you want, and avoiding forestry. You have Mount Karum Slayer Dungeon, which means the Hydra. The problem with the Hydra is that you can't use the Dragon Hunter Lance unless you also get Asgarnia, so that becomes useless. You also can't use Ferocious Gloves, right? Unless you do Fremenic, I think. So the Hydra just mostly shits out money and runes for you and bones, unless you go Fremenic or Asgarnia, which I won't be doing, so I will miss out on that content. You do have Wintertodt, which is going to be pretty busted and really quick fire-making XP. The Sarachnis, which is completely fucking shit. Skatizo, who, just Canelo. Hespori, which means free farming XP. Mimic, if you're going to do Clue Scrolls, free Mimic, that's always good. Unlock Prif down the way, but not in the beginning. Pick Prif first at your own risk unless you are an active skiller. Even still, the shops are amazing but overpriced. Overall, wait, then unlock. Well, I mean, you can get that relic that makes shops free, right? Chambers of Xeric, which is just, I mean, it's my personal favorite anyway. So Cox is, and Cox changes will be coming, I believe, 1 or 2 weeks into leagues if everything goes to plan. So that's something to keep in mind. And then Vardavus, if you also pick the desert. I think Korend just offers so much. You have the cooking range, which I don't think you can fail cooking anyway, right? You have thieving over import, pissing my dog. You've got, I mean, you have to get the Shazing gear, don't you still, which does kind of suck, but you've just got so much access. Like, the farming guild alone is absolutely busted. It doesn't matter what regions you pick and what farming, like, opportunities you have with each region, because the farming guild has one of each, right? Wintertodt offers so much fucking value. Blood runes, you're probably not going to spend a whole lot of time rune crafting, but if you do want AFK, you've got that opportunity. 10 hours of AFK, you have 99 rune crafting. You've got the library, free magic XP early on in the game, and free rune crafting XP early on in the game if you go Korend first. And then the dungeon, of course, you have access to the dragon harpoons in there as well. You have access to the drakes, you have access to hellhounds, you have access to the sulfur lizards for some early resources. Zaya is such a content farm, so many things to do. Yeah, I think Zaya is, like, in my opinion, the strongest region. And I think you'll find a lot of people picking Zaya, Korend, whatever you want to call it. Fuck off. I think that's absolutely the strongest. I think what you're going to find is a lot of people are going to pick Korend, Desert, and probably Asgarnia. Fuck off, cunt. Got him. I think. Yeah, I think Asgarnia, Korend, and Desert will be the most popular regions. Possibly Kandahar and Mauritania too, of course. I will be picking these three here. Those will be my regions. I think I'm going to go Wilderness first, and then Korend, and then Mauritania. I think that's my order. I think that's what I'm going to do. I don't know. The only other option is this. Korend first, Wilderness. But I think I'm going to go Wilderness first. It depends on the relics and what relics are available early on and how early you can pick something first. Or like how early you can pick your first region. But I think I'm going to go Wilderness first. I think. The reason I'm going to go Wilderness first is because in the Wilderness, You have Lava Dragons for early XP, early prayer XP, early maging. You have the altar for early prayer as well. You have, hopefully that you can, I don't know at what point, but at the point that you can pick your own Slayer tasks, I'll be picking revs, but I'll probably go farm revs anyway because there's big money in rev caves. You have access to the Wilderness Agility course and you can just sit there and smash that all day long. Mage Arena, get that done as soon as possible. The Resource Arena has so much value in it. And I think they've upgraded the Rogue's Chest too, which if you get Protect Melee, you can just go and farm that as well. I think I just want to, I want to try it first and just kind of see if I can take advantage of what it has to offer, to be honest. Believe no items are lost in PKing. Yes, they've treated as PVM deaths. Yep. What's the best alchemical item in the Wildy? Probably something from the Wildy bosses. Do it early is a good idea, and I'm guessing very little people will choose it first, meaning you can find the content ahead of people that then ruin their day by PKing them. Yes, well, I mean, by the time people come to the wilderness, I would have left and I'll be like in Korend or in the swamp, really. But yeah, I think I just want to go here first instead of Korend first and just kind of see what happens. I don't think you'll see many people doing it, so it'll be interesting to... I don't think many people do it. It's not a very smart move, but I think that also brings content. You guys might want to know what it's like. So if you want to know what it's like, I'll be live streaming it on Wednesday on release and so on. If we don't get to the wilderness day 1, we will day 2. And then Sunday, I think I'm going to try to do a 24-hour stream as well, where we just play leagues for 24 hours straight and just game and see what happens. But I think that's my plan. That's what I'm going to do first, I believe.
This is the easiest room in the raid. It's quite simple. You got a big boy. Look at him. God damn. Fuck me. Look at that boy. It's huge.